What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to the Mafty Rebellion and the manga Hathaway's Flash. Last time, we got to actually see Mafty assassinate a Federation minister. Hathaway saved the hounds in flight, and the Feddies want to interrogate him. This time, Hathaway is questioned. He meets with Mahessia, and the hotel is attacked by Mafty. So let's get into this. Gas Hugest ends his questioning for the day and gives him a keycard for a hotel room, but they want to question Hathaway again tomorrow. He tells him that he could use the hotel room indefinitely. He and Gigi are riding together. While leaving the airport, he passes by Kenji Mitsuda. Mafty is watching over Hathaway as well. Hathaway and Gigi head to the hotel. In all versions, Hathaway teases her by saying he doesn't want to put her in danger by saying what's on his mind. Gigi laughs and doesn't laugh again until reaching the Tassadeh Hotel. Once they get to the hotel, Kenji and Mahessia is watching over them. Hathaway doesn't know Kenji at this time. They head to the hotel room. Gigi is enjoying the luxury, but Hathaway is doing calculations in his head. He is 10 floors from the top and feels boxed in. They order some food. Hathaway asks if her final destination is Hong Kong. She would love to eventually move to the mountains of Japan. She seems to have the connections to make this happen. Hathaway takes a shower while thinking about how this place uses discretion, as he didn't need to put down a name to enter. He just showed the card. He pulls out a tooth which contains a data chip. This happens in the novel as well, but not the movie. He then puts the chip in his book. He needs to make contact with Mahessia. Hathaway tells Gigi he is stepping out when he gets to see some Gigi titties. He tells her to stop acting like a tramp, pissing her off. In the novel, he did this on purpose to give him time to meet up with Mahessia. But in the movie, you don't really get what's going on in his mind. Here as well, to a certain extent. He thinks that he also doesn't want to create another quest. He heads out and acknowledges his twisted thinking. Hathaway leaves and tails Mahessia, who leads him to a car. This car scene doesn't exist in the movie because it was replaced with a commercial in Hathaway's butt. Hathaway officially meets Kenji. He gives Mahessia the data chip, which contains course data for where to pick up the Gundam. The Gundam will be disguised as a meteorite as it descends. There should be a meteor shower in the South Pacific, but this is actually just a bunch of debris from all the space junk over the years falling to Earth. Another Federation cover-up. He tells Mahessia about the hijacking and that there are people claiming to be Mafty. There appears to be some forces in Owenbelly gathering under the name Mafty. A movement is beginning. They are 30,000 forces strong. In the novel, they emphasize that their forces are far superior in numbers to theirs. This isn't why Kimberly left for Owenbelly. He is spooked by Kenneth, the new commander. Hathaway was prepping the Gundam and took the hounds in to save time, but it ended up wasting time. He tells him that they need to move forward with the diversionary plan. Kenneth is onto him, and they need to throw off his scent. The Gundam must come exactly on schedule. Hathaway still isn't sure if he could use Gigi to his advantage, but they have to let Professor Amada know that people might come asking questions. Mahessia is heading to Lodoichia with Kenji, so Emeralda will be picking him up in her place. Remember, Lodoichia is Mafty's hidden base. Kenji says bad news. They all look up to see Manhunters stopping cars. Hathaway says that if they are caught, they need to swallow that data chip that he gave him. He has a spare. One Manhunter approaches the car and tells them to show their residency papers. Kenji puts the pedal to the metal and bails. The Manhunter blindly shoots one random guy by accident. The car rounds the corner. They tell Hathaway to get out. They will ditch the car and get out of here. He gets out and heads to a souvenir shop. He asks the shopkeep if the Manhunters are around often. It has become a regular thing, apparently. He buys some souvenirs and tries to find a cab where he sees more Manhunters abusing citizens. On the top floor of an apartment is a man who shoots one of the Manhunters. So another Manhunter takes a turret to the entire building. This happens in the novel as well. Hathaway does an about-face and finds a taxi. Everyone's favorite character from the movie, like the souvenir shopkeep. The cab driver also wishes Mafty would do something about the Manhunters, but he says that Mafty may be too smart for their own good, as they also want all of humanity to vacate Earth as well. The cab driver doesn't have time to think about the future. He can only think about the now as he tries to get his permanent residency. He doesn't have the free time to ponder about the future of the world. Hathaway thinks to himself that humanity has brought it upon themselves. He ultimately agrees with Char's belief in the fact that humanity needs to leave the Earth and let it heal. In the novel, Hathaway says that Char was full of ego and did everything for selfish reasons. Unlike Char, he doesn't see this as humanity's destiny. He sees it as humanity's burden. People need to leave Earth for a few centuries as punishment for their failures of the past. He doesn't think that here in the manga, however. He simply says that he needs more power. Hathaway is getting down on some fish when Kenneth comes. He is taking Gigi out to dinner. He says he wants to steal Gigi from him, but Hathaway has no interest. Kenneth says his souvenirs are trash. It looks like a mask, unlike the anime where it's a clock? A compass? What is this thing? He tells Hathaway that Kimberly is disorganized and was planning on bailing to space before heading to Owenbelly. Gigi and Hathaway head out. Meanwhile, at Davao military base, we meet Lane Aim, piloting Penelope Gundam. This Penelope Gundam has the novel version of the head, but the bird bit looks smaller with chunkier shoulders. The crew all talk about the new commander while gawking at the new Gundam. The crew is ready to relax for the day. Meanwhile, Mafty moves in. They are piloting Messers on Galcezons, a subflight system. Gawman is amongst the forces. He is being cocky and thinks he could take the Federation's new mobile suit. Gawman jumps off the Galcezon and heads towards the Regent Hotel. He apologizes to those who get caught up in the crossfire and fires on the hotel. As Gawman begins his attack, Golf jumps off the Galcezon and begins his mission. He waits in the trees to make his next move. Hathaway sees Messers make moves. It's time for him to make a move as well. He wakes up Gigi and heads to the elevator where they meet a minister with a lady. So in this manga and the anime, they brush past this moment. But in the novel, this is an example of the Federation's privilege. A man who is supposed to represent the people is banging hookers on the side with Federation money. And this elevator is where Hathaway realizes this is all f***ed. But here's the Tomino-sized cherry on top. This all turns Hathaway on. This horny little terrorist finds this all erotic. I kinda get why they toned it down for the manga and movie. But let Hathaway go full horny. They make it to the lobby and run out of the building. As they leave, he sees a Federation mobile suit fly over him that he has never seen. He knows in that moment, Anaheim Electronics definitely made that. The light armored Gustav Karls approach Mafty. The FD-03 Gustav Karl light armor configuration is a light armor variant for the standard unit, seen in the Hathaway manga. The lower body and leg armor is stripped from the unit. This was ordered swiftly by Kenneth, which mainly functioned as a morale booster. Uraoki created lore where if a pilot loses their antenna, it is left damaged as a form of public shame. This has the same weapons loadout as a normal Gustav Karl. They move in on Gawman. Suddenly his rifle is shot out of his hands. It is Penelope Gundam. Esmeralda is waiting for Hathaway to make contact, but she sees him running in the opposite direction with a woman. Esmeralda leads him and Gigi towards the park. He needs to just get out of there with Esmeralda, but he can't. He won't leave Gigi. As they run, mobile suits fight around them. The Gundam kicks off Gawman's Messer's head. Esmeralda gives him a note and bails. Even in the novel, it doesn't explain the note nor the movie, but it just says Nejin, which is code for how they will meet up later. Caesarius land in the park and surround Gawman's Messer. Kenneth video chats Commander Kimberly. This is the first time these two have met. They butt heads, but Kimberly says that he is handling forces in Owenbelly and will return once he is finished. He's never coming back. They surround the Messer. Gigi runs to Kenneth once he gets off the subflight system. He tells Hathaway and Gigi to warm up on the ship. Hathaway sees Penelope up close for the first time. They take Gawman into custody. Kenneth tells Lane Aim to kill the pilot next time, or he will take Penelope from him. They aren't going back to the hotel. The Federation will try to find his luggage, if it still exists. Hathaway looks at Gawman. The Caesarius takes off. Kenneth learns that the base was hit. Mafty knew exactly where to attack. We have the moment from the novel play out where Hathaway tries to help Gawman, and Kenneth tells him not to interfere in this operation or they will throw him out. They're taken to the base where they get some rest. The next day, they eat breakfast in the chow hall. Kenneth is going to join them as well. Hathaway is informed that the Bureau of Investigation will be paying him a visit around 10. Kenneth tells him that he has decided to rename his new unit the Circe unit, which was from the animated game picture book thingy that Gigi was playing on the Houndsin, that this manga breezed past. Gigi says that this is obviously a reference to Charlize Theron in Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, based off of something, I think. Circe's magic contained the wildest beasts, Kenneth says. Gigi thinks Mafty will crush him. Kenneth asks out Gigi again and says that she is a good luck charm for the team. We even get the awkward scene from the novel where Kenneth asks to have sex for good luck. Never changed, Tamino. She gets upset and leaves the table. Kenneth and Hathaway have a conversation about dynamics with women. For Kenneth, all this I love you nonsense is a lie, and it is more honest to be upfront about sexual desires. Kenneth wonders what it is about Gigi that draws him to her. Of course, Hathaway understands that this is a new type connection that he is feeling. Kenneth was able to get his bags back, but he tells him that they scanned the data inside his luggage. He felt compelled to tell him because they are best buddies now. Later, Hathaway goes to visit Gas Hughes again. After a few questions, they no longer need him. It doesn't seem like Gas has too much jurisdiction to do anything. Hathaway then goes to see Kenneth to sign off on his testimony. Kenneth believes after reading up on Char's rebellion. He thinks Hathaway is a new type. He calls his battle experience a fluke. But Amado also became a competent pilot in no time. He shrugs this off. He also doesn't intend to say goodbye to Gigi before heading back to Minato. They do find it weird that a girl like her came to Earth with no permanent residency. And that will do it for this episode. I am amazed that they aren't pulling back and going full Tamino in this manga. Even the awkward sexual power moves by Kenneth. Kenneth truly does see Hathaway as a friend, which will make the future very awkward. Next time, Hathaway meets up with the Mafty crew, and they begin their mission to retrieve the Gundam, and Kenneth interviews Gawman. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, it's probably best to say a compliment before going straight to sex. Peace.